Today, I've got a proper Croydon geezer in with me. Please welcome Freddie Woodman.
Signing for Palace as a Palace fan was like class. So then I got the chance to go in with Speroni, and I was just like, day release, this is unreal. And then I'd go back to squad, but like, yeah, you know, obviously training with Speroni and that yesterday, like giving it big one, you know what I mean? You know, went to training, come home, slept, went to training, and I just trained my socks off. You go to Aberdeen, and it's like, you got to win every game. And then I got a call from Steve Cooper, and he was like, look, I want to sign you for Swansea. So you're going in, you're thinking, right, do I go back at him and say, like, you're wrong? And then he went, I'm not going to drop you, you know. You're going to play every single game, so you better start playing well. And I was like, oh, class. Like, cheers. Why can't you be as good as Alisson? And I was like, yeah, all right. And the gaffer's like, Ben, he's like, yeah, sorry, Shag. And he's like, called the gaffer Shag. And I'm like, nah, he's not, is he? It was an amazing time to be involved with an England team. It was so good. And then obviously the World Cup winning the glove and that, it's quite special.
That's unbelievable as an achievement.
What a save from Mark Howard.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Yours Mine Away podcast with me, Mark Howard, and my mate producer Ben. Today I've got a proper Croydon geezer in with me so I can speak properly, you know what I mean? Do you get me?
That's how we roll it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean, innit? Please welcome Freddie Woodman. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good.
We can say in it again. Proper,
feel at home now, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Get the proper Croydon out. As I said, Freddie's a top goalkeeper, by the way. He's at Preston currently. He's gone through the whole England ranks and stuff like that. So it'd be really good to get some insight into all of that sort of stuff. And obviously, I live in Preston. I know the club quite well.
Yeah.
And obviously, find out how you're doing. And we might get around a golf out of this.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Do you play?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Off 12 as well.
Yeah, I'm off 11. That'd be a good little... Yeah.
We'll have a game of scratch then.
Yeah, nice. We'll get Lonners involved as well.
Is he
Preston
good?
legend, mate. Hits the ball further than I've ever seen anyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get one more. Let's get a four ball going.
That's all right. I'll ask Fozzie. Name drop again. Right. As you said, you're a little bit nervous, right? We'll crack straight on with a quick fire. Yeah?
What? Straight in, are we?
Yeah, we'll just do a quick fire.
All right, let's go.
Break the ice,
Break
okay?
the ice. All right.
Right. Catch or parry?
Catch.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Play short or kick it long?
Play short.
Yeah, nice. I'm a kick it long keeper, mate. Favourite ever goalkeeper? No dads included.
Oh, David Seaman, probably, yeah.
Best keeper in the world right now?
Oof. That's a tough one, isn't it? I like Edison, but...
You play it from the back, mate. That's
yeah,
a fair
I like
enough
Edison.
answer.
I do like Edison.
Stick with Edison. Right, ketchup or mayo?
Neither.
Oh, nice.
I don't like all the sauces, nah.
Nah, nothing.
You got
salt and pepper. It's a bit of seasoning.
Season it properly.
Yeah, proper Croydon. Long sleeve or short sleeve shirts?
I'm a short sleeve with a
Under Armour.
Yeah, under
Base layer.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
World Cup or Champions League?
World Cup. Yeah.
Movie or box set?
Movie.
And then finally, save a penalty or score a goal. Both are to win the game.
Do you know what? I'd score a goal. I always dream about it.
Another one.
I always dream about it.
Got the convert. Yeah.
You know, like you think in your head, like I've gone up for a corner and I've gone, right, I'm going to score. Then I'm going to knee slide and I'm going to take my top off. Like you start thinking about it. Next thing you know, the geezer's whipped it in, hit front man, and you're sprinting back. Like,
mate, I had it once, right, for St Mirren, we played like this Renfrewshire Cup pre-season game. I've gone up for a corner in the last minute, made contact with the header and everything. Ref gave a foul straight away, mate. I was so far on his back, like hands on it, and I was like, I've done this. My eyes lit up. And I was like, oh yeah, ref blew. I don't even think it crossed the line before it even blew the whistle.
How bad is it when you're the other goalie and the goalie comes up and you're thinking, Jesus, there's about 100 people in the box here.
Carnage,
isn't it?
They never actually win the header. It's just to cause carnage and someone
like,
loses their mark.
Yeah, 100%. You're just a bit like, there's a lot of bodies in here now.
Unless you're Alisson and actually go up and notch one.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It was a joke of a header that as well, right?
Wouldn't it?
Quickly, I want to mention your 7 clean sheets at the start of the season. It's an incredible consecutive record for the Championship.
Yeah, no, it was...
what a start.
It was mad, yeah. It was obviously a great start going to a new club and, you know, obviously you get your first one and you're like, thank God, like first game season, clean sheet. And then it just started rolling and like we kept getting another one. And it become a bit of like a running joke in the change room. Like, we'll try and get another one.
We'll never concede, yeah.
We'll never score, we'll never concede. And it was ledge. And do you know what? When we conceded, it was a bit like, all right, thank God that's over, because it was becoming like a bit of like a joke. But no, it was nice to start that way, especially at a new club.
At a new club, yeah, especially
important.
But obviously you've gone on to have a load of clean sheets, right? Not to get one-upmanship here, but when I was at Sheffield United, I got 8 in a row. And you know when, like you're saying, when you eventually I conceded a cross, and like that broke the duck.
What, straight in?
And so you know, like like a cutback on the angle where it's like going to the far post, but low. I've gone for the front post runner to make the block, and it's fucking crept in the back post. I was devoed. Lost 1-0 to Wolves. I lost
1-0 as well when I done mine.
It's horrible, isn't it?
It's the worst. Because you go into the game, like after like the third or the fourth, I was thinking, I'm invincible. I ain't conceding it.
You do feel like that.
You do,
yeah.
think, oh, this is unreal. Like I'm not going to concede. You go home, you feel like all good because you've not conceded. And then when you finally do, it's like everyone's like, oh, why is he not keeping clean sheet?
The text message you get, you go, oh, you actually conceded today, did you? You're like, oh, I am crap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was good. It was class.
Right, your biggest influence in your footballing career must have been your dad.
Yeah, no, massive. Yeah, it still is now. To be fair, he's obviously been my dad. He's been my coach. He's my best mate. Like he's been massive for me. Yeah, he's class.
Obviously, he's been there the whole step, like every step of the way. Obviously, most parents go above and beyond, taking you to football and taking you to training every night, and along with their day jobs and that. Obviously, your dad's so different in that sense that he would just bring you into training as much as he could as well.
Yeah.
That must have gave you so much grounding and insight to the career that you're going on and having.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely helped. Like, I think I've said numerous times before is that, like, you know, it's like when you're a footballer is that your dad will sometimes take you to school and sometimes not. But if he took me to school, like, we'd drop my sister off and I'd go into training with him. We'd go down, it was Brentford at the time. And even from like, and I'm talking like I was like really young, so I must have only been about 4 or 5, but I can still remember sitting in the kit room with the kit man and just being in the environment and seeing like the boot room and having the like the noise, the smell. It's all quite unique, and I still quite remember that now.
But being exposed to like the language and and the discipline and everything that goes on, and like the behind closed doors that no one gets to see from a young age, that must have been like scary. Yeah. But also you're going, I want to do that.
Do you know what? It was never a case of like, I want to do this. It was more of, it was just like the norm. I just felt like it was the norm. Like, I'm going into work with dad. And it was like, I used to love it. It was class. Like, just sit beside the goal, watch him just, you know, do his training and stuff. But I never thought I was going to become a footballer. I never, like, we always joke, like, we always say, like, oh, we thought we missed the boat. Like, I went into secondary school and I wasn't playing football. I was playing golf. And, you know, like you do when you go into secondary school, you're just messing about and getting into no good. And
it's from your Croydon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then, just randomly, my school teacher was like, do you want to have a trial at Crystal Palace? And it wasn't even my dad. And when I first went to Crystal Palace, I went as Freddie Wood, not as Woodman.
No way.
Because I didn't want people to be like, oh, it's Woody's son and that. So it was never like I was going to training and thinking I'm going to become a footballer. It was more of just like, I'm going to work with my old man. Like,
yeah, that's mad that. But obviously your dad's had an incredible career himself and his coaching career. He's now currently manager at Bromley. Yeah. But it was obviously, he's quite well known for other podcasts and gets a lot of stick for the stories he tells and that. He's such a good character, and for us all to like listen to, there's something in it that we all miss out of football, and I think that's why your dad's so endearing as well as a guy. Yeah,
like his stories are just a different gravy, to be fair. Like, I've heard them so many times, but I think that's his character, and I think people always say that we're two different people. You know, I think people expect me to be like him, whereas like he always says that I'm more professional, I got a better attitude than him, and
that's clear, that surely.
Yeah, and I think that's just because, you know, when I eventually did get into football, he then, you know, give me the advice of like not to do things the way he did it, and to go about doing things differently. So I think once I did start playing football, having his guidance from what he'd been through before was huge. Yeah, excellent. Obviously, you mentioned there a little bit about your earliest memories of playing in goal and that. Would you have just gone out in the garden with your dad? Was it like that the sort of thing that you remember doing, or was it from going into football and just having a kick about while the other lads trained? Yeah, it was more like my first real memory is like I can remember sitting at the training ground at Brentford with my dad's gloves on and they're being huge, and sitting on a ball and just hearing the noise of like volleys, you know, like just doing like the noise of the ball hitting the gloves. I remember that quite quite a lot. And then I remember like playing football in the street with all my mates. Obviously, my dad wasn't there like a lot because obviously he was traveling, obviously playing games and that, which is understandable. So I'd just be in the street playing with all the kids and having his gloves on. So yeah, I remember
That's
that.
sick,
yeah. So, but I remember
playing Kirby with his gloves.
yeah, I know they were too big as well. But no, it was class. Like, you know, that memory of me sitting on the ball watching him do volleys.
Yeah. A lot of people from South London do play football, like, and there's a lot of good footballers, but it's probably because they use football as a vessel to not get in trouble.
Yeah, I think that is massive. Yeah, like even if I look at people I went to school with now and like you see what they're doing and you're like, you know, I always say to I was having this conversation with my missus the other day, is like, I'm so lucky and privileged that, you know, I had that one moment that like kind of changed my life, because I think when I look back now, it can go one way or the other. So like I'm so grateful for my teacher, Mr. Bruce it was, that, you know, said, do you want to go have a trial? Because we generally thought I'd missed the footballer boat, me and my dad.
Was you ever tempted to be an outfield player?
Yeah, like I used to like mess around outfield, but I was never no good. Like I couldn't get about, mate. I was like a little pudding in midfield. Like I could not get about. So I used to play. You played the whole Sunday league and played in the cages and stuff, but no, I just wasn't good enough outfield.
Yeah. But it was obviously at Crystal Palace then that you came through the academy there, and that you support Palace as well, didn't you?
Yeah, Palace.
So that must have been incredible anyway.
Oh, it was unreal.
From the trial to what happened after the trial? Obviously, they offered you terms.
Yeah, like I had a 6-week trial, and like in that time, I was like, I'm actually doing all right. Like I felt like I was doing well, and then they give me they offered me the 2-year schoolboy at the time, and I was buzzing. You know, you come home with the black bin liner full of Palace gear,
yeah,
and like
training
I've gone
kit.
home, I'm getting it all out. I'm like, oh my god, like this is unbelievable. Like I was buzzing, and then just I started playing for Palace, and that's literally the moment when I started taking football like quite serious, and my dad started taking it serious, and that was the first time we like set the goal, and the goal was to get a scholarship. Yeah. And within the next 2 years, they offered me a scholarship, and just started to go from there really. But signing for Palace as a Palace fan was like class, man. It was
See, like I'm a Tottenham fan. I've said it before, but like I grew up around the corner. We always went to Crystal Palace games because they always were ledge at doing like the in the community stuff. Yeah. So like all the summer programs and like Easter programs. Oh, we all did the training camps always. Even though I was playing for Arsenal, I'd still go and do like other training camps and like pay a fiver and like go to the Palace games. We always went to the games.
No, it was class. I was ball boy loads of times. I think because obviously my dad started at Palace when he was a kid. And obviously through the family, they're all Palace fans and that. So, yeah. And at the time, they weren't like Palace like we know them now. They were Palace in the Championship. Do you know what I mean? They weren't that
fighting
good.
It out,
like
they?
Fighting it out. Like, and it was just wicked, like going down the cellar. So I used to go, my granddad was a season ticket for like, I think he stopped going when he was like 91. Like he was going all the time. So I used to go down with him. But
go and watch Julio.
Yeah, Speroni, yeah. And then I got the chance, you know when you do the old day release? Yeah. So then I got the chance to go in with Speroni, and I was just like, day release, this is unreal, like best thing ever. Like, Dougie Freeman's the manager, and I was just like so like buzzing.
Class.
Yeah, it was sick. Day release was unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah. I talked about this on a David Seaman episode that like I used to go up and do like the 2 weeks of like Easter every day and like do the intent. And like, I remember once training with him and Bob Wilson, and it was like he did 10 volleys and walked in. I was like, oh my god, that's the level. It's a joke. But like, I used to love going in with the youth team and the reserves, and that was so good.
Yeah, it was. I'm not like even. Like obviously now I'm at Preston. Is that we don't have that. We don't have like any kids coming in like and doing that side of things. For me, when I was like, I think I was like, must have been like 14 at the time, going in day release and training with the first team and like just being around the first team. It was like such a, like that experience is like priceless, really.
Unbelievable.
And I feel like kids now are kind of missing out on that. I think they're going day release, but they're going and just doing it with their own age group. Yeah,
I think that's literally what they do. Just go off and do it at another training ground, their own training, where they missed that integration early doors to get involved with men.
100%. Like I still remember when I was at Palace, like I'd go in and I'd get treated like a scholar at the time. So I'd go in, I'd clean Claude Davis's boots. He had the biggest boots ever. I'd clean them. Then I'd clean the balls. Then I'd mark out a pitch for the manager's first team training.
Carry all the mannequins over to the pitch.
Yeah, like you do all of this stuff, and it was like, but at the time, like I was like, this is unreal. Like I'll do this any time of the week. Like I'll do this. I'm
Yeah,
missing school to do this. This is unbelievable. And then I'd go back to squad, but like, yeah, you know, obviously just training with Speroni and that yesterday, like giving it big, and you know what I mean. So no, it was class, and I used to love it.
What a save from Mark Howard.
Right, I'm going to get on with a quiz now and test your knowledge. Right, this is the trick quiz. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. Game of goalie or no goalie. I've got 5 current internationals and 5 made-up names or people from around the world. Listeners can head over to YouTube and check our leaderboard. It's 1 point for each correct answer. Right, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Goalie or no goalie, yeah? Ready. Number 1, Paul Hewson.
No goalie.
He's not a goalie. Good start. Is Bono from U2?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Just don't sound like a goalie, does he?
Nah, that's one of the first that actually don't sound like a goalie, mate. The rest of them, they're all goalies. There's 9 goalies now. Right, number 2, Joel Gratterol.
He's a goalie.
Confident, yeah?
Yeah.
He is a goalkeeper. He is Venezuela and Panathinaikos. I'm saying that's in Greece or Cyprus somewhere. We'll guess. Nice, you. Good start. Right, number 3, Konstantinos Panagi.
He's got to be a Greece goalie. Greek goalie. Yeah.
Goalie. Cyprus and Ammonia goalkeeper. Yes, correct. Number 4, Montero Hill.
I haven't come across many Hill, you know, like back in the shirt Hill. But I'm going to say goalie.
He's not a goalie. It's actually Lil Nas X. Real name.
Who's that?
He sang Old Town Road.
Oh, is he a rapper?
You're going to have to sing it, mate.
Nope. You know, gonna take my horse to
Oh,
Old
right.
Town
Yeah,
Road.
yeah, yeah, I
I'm
do
gonna
know that
ride. That
Yeah,
song. I told you I wasn't going to sing it. Right, number 5, Eric Favre. Favre. Eric Favre.
No goalie.
He's not a goalie, but he's a big fan of yours, and you're a fan of his. He is inventor of Nespresso. Just wing that one in there.
Yeah, nice.
Slipped
nice.
it in.
I am a big fan of him, to be honest. Lovely coffee.
Yeah. Check out your social for some lovely pictures of you making
get on
coffee,
there.
mate.
Yeah, it's like George Clooney, isn't it?
Yeah, it was spits. I actually thought it was like you'd
Double
knocked it up,
take.
mate. Yeah, did you? It was nice. Right, number 6, Sayan Hazmi.
Goalie.
He is a goalkeeper. Malaysia and Johor DT.
Nice.
Yeah, mate, it's
Fine,
so
yeah.
hard trying to pronounce these names, by
Yeah.
the way. You try and read them off my notes. It's horrendous. Right, number 7, Hernan Galendez.
Goalie.
He is a goalkeeper, yep. He is Ecuador and Acos goalkeeper. Big beard, nice, pointy.
Oh, I'd love that beard.
Yeah. Growing mine out at the moment. Just saying, you could have complimented me.
No, it does look good. I'm really patchy. I was growing mine out, but patchy as.
Number 8, John Stevens.
No goalie.
Nah, it's John
too
Legend,
basic,
mate.
innit?
It's too
Yeah.
basic. Yeah, that was
Too
an easy
basic.
one. Some of them I've got to make easy. What you on, Nas? 7 out of 10, mate. Flying
Who's
it.
leading?
Emily Ramsey has got 10 out of 10, so you can't quite
I'll
possibly
take
get that
second.
score.
I'll take second then.
Right. Number 9, Damjan Siskovsky.
No goalie.
He is a goalkeeper. He is North Macedonia and Doxa goalkeeper.
It's mad. I've never heard of any of these goalies.
Yeah, you're not meant to, mate.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah, well, they're international goalkeepers in their own right. They played
No,
in their
I know,
last
you-
international game. They're like all starters.
I used to be a big football manager.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe I'd
Pick up a
remember
couple.
one, like, you know, a wonder kid or
You're on
something.
7. You've got one more to go. Let's see if you can make it 8. Number 10, Netta Hirschlag.
Goalie.
She is not a goalie.
Ah.
She is Natalie Portman.
Oh, she's lovely, to be fair. Where's that leave me?
7 out of 10, mate. Joint 4th.
Betts beat me.
Yeah.
Gutted. I'll take
Still
7,
good.
to be fair.
Still
Yeah,
good
it's not
score,
bad.
mate.
It's
You
not
should be
bad.
happy with that. Right.
Take it.
Obviously, from Crystal Palace, you moved to Newcastle.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a story that behind this. Obviously, your old man was there at the time.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us the backstory of it?
Yeah, so obviously I was at Palace and Palace had gone into liquidation and they was going through all their financial trouble. And I was moving anyway. And I went and looked at Fulham. I went to Chelsea to have a look round and all these different places. And my dad was in Newcastle at the time. And I think the scout at Newcastle said to him, like, why are you going to let your son go to Fulham, Chelsea, or all these other clubs? Like, if he's decent, why are we not trying to sign him? So then my dad come to me, he's like, look, Newcastle want to sign you. I was like, no way, I don't want to sign. Like, he's like, yeah, but we can have all the family together. Like, you can all move up. It'll be a good chance. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, you know, everyone would just know me as your son. Yep. I said to him, like, why can't I just sign for Sunderland or something? And it was like a big mistake at the time. So yeah, and then Newcastle offered me something. They said that I could get schooled at the training ground, and like something clicked in me, was like oh, this is like a massive opportunity. I can't give this up. At 14 to have the opportunity to train every single day, I just thought I'd improve so much. And like we went up there, we had a look around. Peter Beardsley showed us round, and then I just was like, wow, like this is, I've not really been outside of London. And then you go up there and you see the stadium, and I was like, wow.
The stadium and training grounds.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is insane. Like, I have to sign. And yeah, I moved up there, signed, started training every single day. I just improved so much. Like, I literally just, you know, went to training, come home, slept, went to training, and I just trained my socks off as hard as I can.
Was you still doing schooling after training each morning?
Yeah, I do schooling in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, before training. I'd have a full day Wednesday with a tutor, and then Thursday, Friday, I'd do it in the morning again. And then my schoolwork improved, because, you know, obviously when I was at school, I was bad. Like, I had all my mates there. You know what it's like being a jet lag. And I was at Palace, so I was even like more giving it large. Like, oh, I don't need this. Like, I'm playing for Palace. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, being an idiot, like I was. So having that one-to-one tuition, like, it just made me just improve that side of things. And then obviously training with older lads, I was just getting better and better.
And obviously, like you're saying, you're getting better and better until you eventually came through the academy system and was starting to get into the first team environment, where you found yourself heading out on loan.
Yeah.
Obviously, the loan spells now I want to talk about, but they've had a huge bearing on your career.
Yeah, massive. Like, I think for any goalie, you know what it's like. You need to get out. You're not really. I feel like you're protected in the under-23s and the youth team. It's what you know. It's easy. And until you go out and you test yourself in the league, I don't think you really know where you're at. So obviously, as a young goalie, I was playing for England. I felt like I was doing well. Like, I felt like at the time, I was like, oh, wow, this is easy. I'm gonna play for Newcastle. You know, You just don't think anything else. And then obviously, I go out. I do a 1 month loan at Hartlepool, and I'm like, wow, this is mental. Like, this is what it's like. You know, getting the train.
It's not an easy place to go as well.
No, it wasn't. And like Scott Flinders was there as well, and obviously he was Palace goalie. I was a bit in awe sort of thing, and I saw like the level, because I ultimately just thought, like, you know, I'll be honest, I went there, I was like, League Two, like, should rip it up really, you know. And I went there and I was like, bloody hell, like,
it's hard for a goalie to rip it up in any league.
Yeah, no, of course. But when you're young and naive, you just don't think anything else. And then I'd done a month there, and I still think that's the best. I didn't play, but it was the best month I'd done, because it was like a bit of like a wow, like this
culture
wake up
shot.
Yeah, culture shot. And then I signed for Crawley, and I started playing, and I was just like, this is class, like, it's unreal.
Did you get the bug straight away?
Straight away, I was like, right. And then Robbie Elliott done his cruise shit, Tim Krul done his cruise shit, and I got called back, and I only played like 12 or 13 games, but I was loving it. I wish I could have got a full season down there. And then I just tried to force myself to go on loan every season. Then after that, I think everyone knew how important it was, because we like, when I was growing up, like, you'd see like Jack Butland would go out on loan, and you see Jordan Pickford go out on loan. You see all these goalies going out on loan, and you was like, I think this is the way you got to do it. So then we sort of just, you know, try to. Me and my dad used to call it Jack Butland plan. We used to call it, let's do the Jack Butland plan. Let's go out on loan, go work our way through the leagues, and we did, to be fair.
It's not often that a keeper does it the other way, like a Joe Hart goes from like a Shrewsbury and then goes to Man City, and then all of a sudden that's him. Then I think he only had one loan spell to Blackpool. I think it might.
It's rare, isn't it?
It's rare.
And I think if you do it, it's you got to be good, and it's tough as well, because I think even when Hart went in, you're going into like the Premier League, and I found that even when I went into the Premier League from the Champ, I was like, bloody hell, like this standard's unbelievable. Like, it's another like wake up call, and it's. I think it would be, if you went from like, I think Gavin Bazuna's done it this year. He's gone from like League One to the Prem, and it's such a big jump. It's the level is.
Did you notice that even when you went back to training each time after each loan back to Newcastle, you'd be like, oh my God, I need to be back at it now. I need to change my opinion, how I'm reacting. And
yeah, definitely. I think it's good, because like once I went out on loan, it was not a case of like I was Freddie Woodman from the youth team. It was like he's played like 50 games in the league or whatever, 25 games in the league. You come with that behind you sort of thing, and it makes a massive difference to know that you've established yourself in league football, because that's what everyone talks about. So I think that's huge as well, because then people have a bit more belief in you.
And then obviously your loan moves to Scotland at Kilmarnock and Aberdeen.
Yeah,
it's not always easy. I'm going to say this about, I loved my time in Scotland. I learnt so much. I think I learnt more about winning and losing in Scotland than I have at any other club, because of the expectation level of having £3,000 at one week and 60,000 at the other. I think I learnt more in that period and the levels of football.
Yeah, definitely. I think from going up to Scotland for me, it like leveled up my loans. You know, I went into obviously the SPL, and it was like up there they don't really care about any football down here. So it's, you know, football down here is not documented, but you know, you pick up the paper up there and it's the league that you're playing in. You know, you watch the highlights on, and it's your league straight away.
There's 12 teams.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
They're talking about every single one of them, every player.
Exactly, and it was like it almost like leveled up. And you know, my first one at Kilmarnock, it was a case of trying to get pushed to get in the top 6, and it was good. And I love playing at Killy. It was just, you know, we had so many young lads there, and then we had the older lads there as well, like Chris Boyd, and they were teaching us, and it was just class, like living with the lads in a flat, 4 of us. So that was good, and then that geared me up, because I went away to the World Cup at the end of that season. I obviously went to the World Cup, and coming off the back of the Killy loan, it was class. It was easy. And then obviously going up to Aberdeen, it was just it was
Fishbowl.
different. Yeah, it was just, I played, and I felt like I played well, but it just wasn't for me up there. Feels like the end of the earth.
Oh, I struggled up there as
Yeah,
well.
great club, like-
it's unbelievable club, and the fan base is brilliant as well.
Yeah.
But if things aren't going right for the team on the pitch, it affects your whole life.
Yeah, and it was the
You
first
still had a good season as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the first time I went to a club, and it was like we was expected to win, and that's a totally different pressure. I was at Crawley, was battling out for relegation. I went to Killy, was battling out for 6th. Like, if you get a draw, you're thinking, oh, I've done well. You go to Aberdeen, and it's like you got to win every game, and it was a totally different pressure. And obviously, I learned so much again from that, because it is totally different from what I knew. But yeah, it did feel like the end of the earth up there, didn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it was a million miles away from anything.
But that's the thing, even like the sacrifices. I had my missus come up there with me at the time, and her trying to get home and catching flights. And
Yeah.
there was honestly a solid month where I walked to training because the snow was that bad.
Yeah. There's only one time I've wanted like not to play football, and we played, I think we was playing Motherwell, and I looked on my phone, and you know it says like feels like temperature. It was like -19. And I was like, this game cannot be on tonight. It can't. I was praying it was off, and it
Just
got
call
called
it
off. It got called off because of the fans would have been in danger. I was thinking, what about the players?
How'd you warm up?
Yeah. So I'm not good with the cold either. So no, that's the only one time I've wanted the game to be off.
Fair enough. Obviously, this has all led to the Swansea 2 seasons on loan, where it really kicked on and highlighted your career and stuff like that, and just really put you into the limelight.
Yeah, like the Swansea loans were wicked as well. Obviously, I was at Newcastle. I'd played in like the FA Cups and stuff, and it was like time now to like go out and try and get a full season. I didn't think I was going to get it in the Championship. I was thinking, if I nick a League One, I'll be happy. And on the last pre-season game for Newcastle, we played Hibs, and then I got a call from Steve Cooper, and he was like, "Look, I want to sign you for Swansea. We start the season, we got Hull at the weekend," and I was just like, Clark, like this is wicked, like get in sort of thing. And I thought I'd sign it. I didn't think I'd play at the weekend. Gone straight in, trained on the Friday, playing tomorrow against Hull in the Championship, and then obviously went on to do what we did that season, got in the playoffs. And then it was disrupted by COVID as well. But all through the season, there was like noise coming out of like, we want you to come back, And for me, I didn't want to go anywhere else. I've never settled so much in a place.
But to be fair, you had established yourself and you played literally or nearly every game that season.
Yeah.
That feeling of being like the number one, so to speak. I know you had people challenge you at the time, and it was a good time for you. But that feeling of going, I'm going to be playing on Saturday, even if I've got a nick or I don't have to lie about an injury to get through the next game. That's an unbelievable feeling. And the faith that you have from a manager that does that to you.
I'd never had that before as well. And like looking back now, Steve Cooper, he was quality for me. Because I went through, like every goalie does through a season, you go through a bit of a sticky spell. And he pulled me, and I thought, oh, here we go, we're getting the old dropped one here. You know, like, don't you?
Yeah. You think, that curly finger's coming.
So you're going in, you're thinking, right, do I go back at him and say, like, you're wrong? And then he went, I'm not going to drop you, You're going to play every single game. So you better start playing well. And I was like, oh, class, like, cheers. And I walked out of there, played the weekend, and I was back to my best sort of thing. So he was class, like managing wise. He was awesome. So
you do have, like you're saying, you have spells in that in your career.
Oh,
when someone comes and does that to you, you get that like second lease of life. You're like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I am a good keeper again.
I remember one time, like I was at home. I was watching Champions League. I can't remember. I think Liverpool were playing. I think it was when Liverpool won the Champions League. Allison was like making worldies, and I got a FaceTime. Steve Cooper. What's going on here? Like I thought he like pocket called me. Like, answer it. He's like, why can't you be as good as Allison? And I was like, yeah. All right.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, like, and you just like little things like that would like. You just grew, like, and you just felt like that is quality, like great man management.
Was it hard going back after missing out on the playoffs, or was it you had something to achieve?
Yeah, it was like unfinished business for me. I was like, I need to go back because, like I said, I never settled in a place so well. Like, I went there and I was like, I'd immersed myself in like their culture. It was similar to Newcastle. It was like one club. You had the South Wales derby, which was unbelievable to play in. So yeah, I just love living there. I've always been one to come back to London. I was down there, never come back to London. Go to the beaches, coffee shops. I love
Ben Hamer have anything to do with it?
Yeah, to be fair, can I call him Shag?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Call it. So Shag's come like halfway through the season, and you know when a new goalie comes and you're a bit like, whoa, all right, a bit of competition and that. Shag's come and he's the funniest geezer I think I've met in football.
He's off his rocker, isn't he?
Oh, he's quality. He's top drawer, and he's actually like a good goalie. And like
he's a proper good goalie.
Yeah,
as well.
And he comes with so many like stories, experience, like Leicester, all this stuff. And it was like every day we'd go out to training and they'd have a story, and like it just had me in tears. Like there's nothing better, is it, as a goalkeeping group when you're working with someone and you're just going out training and you're enjoying it every moment. It's brilliant.
When you've got someone like him as well, that's like bantering you off all the time. You're on your toes, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. And like in the most stressed environments, he can make you feel so relaxed.
Yeah.
There's someone like that can make you feel so relaxed. Like we're like playoff semi-final, Barnsley, like first time fans have been let back in, and you're feeling it. You're thinking, I'm nervous here. He'd crack a little joke, and you couldn't help but just have a laugh, and it just make you feel at ease. And he was really good, to be fair, really good to have beside me.
He seemed like an easy person to get a laugh off as well, so he must have been thriving.
He was brilliant. Like, I remember like one time we used to, Steve Cooper used to do meeting before every game, and Shag used to come in like late, like right close
on time,
on the thing all the time. And I think one time he was like a minute over, and he'd come rushing in, and he's pulled the door, and the gaffer's like, Ben, he's like, yeah, sorry, Shag. And he's like, called the gaffer Shag. And I'm like, nah, he's not, is he? Like, and lads are like just sitting there like in tears. Like he's the only one that could get away with it. Yeah, he was brilliant. Like he was class.
Well, obviously, like I said, you end up playing over 80 games for Swansea over those 2 seasons. To then go back to Newcastle year after, you must have been full of confidence then, going, I'm having a right go here.
Yeah, well, it was weird. Like obviously, I'd gone back to Newcastle, and I went back and I was obviously buzzing. Like I played 80 games for Swans, made playoffs, and there was noise that I was going to go again. And like I spoke to the manager Steve Bruce at the time. He said like, you're not needed. I was like, oh, it's about perfect. Like unreal. So I was going to sign for Bournemouth. Come down to London, done my medical. Thinking like Bournemouth, great club, probably going to go push to go up. Like got some quality players. So I was all done and dusted, like had my bags packed, was heading out to Marbella, not needed by Newcastle. And then the day I was meant to fly, Steve Bruce calls me and he's like, we need you to come back. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like you said I weren't needed, like you need to come back. The Bradford's come back from international and he's an operation, you need to come back. You're gonna be on the bench. I was like, oh. So there's a bit of a standoff for a little bit, end up going back. And so we go back to pre-season. Darlow gets COVID, he gets it really bad. I've been in close contact with him, got an isolate for 14 days. So I'm like, right, okay, isolate for 14 days. After 14 days, come back. Season's upon us now. Like, playing West Ham in the next couple of days. Not really had a pre-season because I've been here, there, and everywhere. Darlow's got COVID really bad, can't play. you're playing. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, I'm going to make my Premier League debut. Like,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, just a series of events like that, and then obviously managed to get in, played the first 5 games of the season. Obviously, in the Premier League, which was unbelievable, and and then I come out of the team and then went on loan to Bournemouth in January.
Was your old man the goalie coach at Newcastle still?
No, he'd left. He'd
he?
gone. Yeah, he's at Bromley by this stage.
Yeah.
He was manager of Bromley. So yeah, he left me up there when I think I was 17. He left me up there with one knife and fork and a spoon in the house. He said, you're on your own now, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, just went into the Premier League and then started that season.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, making your debut for a club like Newcastle, you must have been nervous, even though you've had the grounding of playing over 100 games already.
Yeah.
That game,
I'm nervous any game. Like, I don't know about you, but my nerves are exactly the same for every single game I've ever played. They don't get any higher, they don't get any lower. So like, if it was like a Carabao Cup game or if it was my Premier League debut, I'd still be the same. Yeah, still get a horrible feeling in your belly, deep breaths and that. It was more of like the feeling of like, walking out and you're like, wow, this is a bit surreal. Like the noise was insane. Like I've never heard noise like it in that stadium that day. And yeah, it was just more of like being in the moment and thinking like, how have I ended up here, sort of thing.
can you take it all in? See, like I've said on here before, but I don't ever go out during a warm-up and look at the pitch, like before you get changed.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So like, I just think, well, I'm going to play here. This is where I'm going to work today.
Yeah.
The grass is going to be grass. I'm going to wear a stud no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, I think I don't need to go and look at a stadium. I don't need a picture on a pitch. I'm not one of those people. I'm just a creature of routine. I like to just go, this is what I do, this is how I get ready, this is what I'll drink. Like, I'm just routine it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think routine gives you comfort, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Especially in like high pressure environments. If you're doing the same thing, it just gives you a little bit of comfort. So yeah, I never really go out and look at the pitch and that. But as I walked out, from the tunnel and you line up, and I was just like, I felt like I played in that stadium loads of times. It just felt like it just grew, it got louder. I was just like, wow, this is mental. Like it was quite a mad moment, really.
Yeah.
This is Matt Smith, and this is the glove review on the Yours, Mine, Away podcast.
Right, I want to talk gloves now. Let's do a glove review on yours, right? So you're currently wearing the one glove.
Yeah.
You've only just changed, didn't you?
Yeah, only just. I was Puma for just shy of 10 years. And Rob Elliott, he used to bang on to me all the time about, use the one glove. I was like, nah, don't need him, Rob, don't need him. And then my contract was coming to an end with Puma in the new year, and Robbie sent me out a pair, and he said, give these a go. And I used them, and I was like, wow, these are class, these are decent. So I was using them in training all the time, but wearing my Pumas for the matches. And then when the new year come, I was like, Rob, like, I don't really want anything in that. I want to wear the gloves because they're the best. Yeah. The latex is the best. And then ended up signing with them, and it's been wicked. Miles at the one glove looks after me, and he's can't say anything bad about him really.
What size are you?
I'm a 9.5.
A 9.5. Yeah. Is there anything you look for in a glove? Like a special cut?
No, I'm not that fussed with gloves. I've always sort of just mixed and matched. Like if there's a pair,
whatever they send you.
Yeah, sort of whatever they send me. Miles gave me the option of like, you can change whatever you want. And I was like, I don't know, I don't need to change anything. So we ended up just changing the strap. Yeah. I was like, I quite like a latex strap. Because the other one, the elastic ones?
Yep.
And I find that if you dive once, it comes off.
And you can't tighten it enough.
Yeah. So I was like, just change the strap. So they're exactly the ones you can buy, and the strap's different.
Yeah. So yours, they're like a hybrid roll, aren't they?
Yeah.
They look small always. I always think the one glove fingers look small.
Yeah, I think they're like a slim.
They are slim, aren't they?
Finger.
Yeah. Latex is lovely on them.
Yeah, I wore these at the weekend to be fair. Yeah. Latex, unbelievable.
Yeah. Do you have any routines before a match? Then will you wear them in training to break them in, wash them?
Not like dead cert on anything. Just whatever I feel.
Just depend on the conditions and everything.
Yeah, like I've never people have been like you come across goalies that like, right, need one wash, need do this, need do this. I'm not like that really. I just, if I think they feel alright, then I'll wear them. And if I wear them in a warm up and I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling these, I'll change them. It's just whatever I feel like working at that moment, I'll do. Like even when I speak to my dad used to say, I'd have a good game and I'd get the gloves and I'd put them back in the bag and I won't open them again to the next Saturday. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're obsessed. He's like, if I had a bad game, throw him in the bin. I was like, nah, come on, man.
Honestly, the different routines in all goalkeepers has just been mental.
Oh, it's mad, isn't it?
And like even like the aftercare, like after a game. How many games do you get out of them? You're going to say one, aren't you?
No, I'll wear a new one every game.
Yeah.
But I'll just wear them in training.
Yeah.
I wear old gloves for training. I can't.
David Raya last week said exactly the same thing.
I like to test my hands. I always in my head, from a young age, I thought, right, wear the worst gloves you can and test your hands.
I'm going to start trying this. I've not done this.
You've not done it?
Nah.
Try it. And you really
always
see how
wear
your hands
gloves
are.
in games for like 2 or 3 games, and then they become a training gloves.
Oh, really?
For like the next 2 or 3, like next 2 weeks, really.
Yeah.
So like it's just a rotation. I've never gone to like a really crap pair.
Really? No, what you should do is get a pair that you use at the start of the season, keep them, and
dry
then,
them out,
and then use them in like January or Feb just to see where they're at.
Yeah.
I do it just randomly just to see what they're like. And
that's
like,
good fun. That as well.
It
by
is
the way.
like it's just like it's training, isn't it?
Yeah,
You can sort of try things, experiment, and that.
But it's more realistic to a game as well, I suppose, because you don't ever know how they're going to perform on that day because of the conditions, how the pitch is.
Are you one for Vass?
This is so famous on this podcast.
Is it?
So I've done it before in the rain. It's unbelievable.
Do you like it?
Only once.
Oh, I don't like it at
Do you
all.
not like it? Yeah.
So I can't remember. It was last season? You know, in the tunnel, you give it the, oh, how you doing, mate? You're right. And someone's had a lump of Vass on their glove. And I've gone, nah, that's not the one. Picked up the ball, I'm like, oh, I'm in your head all game, innit? Like, Vass, like, so now I'm a fist pump, like, but Vass is everywhere, innit?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Like, I've picked up...
Deep heat and Vass on your gloves.
The worst. For me, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. Have you got any superstitions about them?
Gloves?
Yeah. Some people say they don't like other people to touch them, not allowed to try them on before a game.
No, I haven't got any.
Yeah.
I try and get them to match. I quite like a match.
I love a matching boot and glove combo.
Yeah. Like I can't. I feel a bit.
It looks proper.
I look
doesn't
ugly,
it?
you know.
But you've done Puma for that, and they've sent you matching boots and gloves.
Yeah, that was
so
good.
that tees you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And then like once you wear something that's not the same, I just like someone played the other day and they had like yellow boots, red gloves, and I was like, nah,
don't work, does it?
Like you might be good, but it just doesn't look good on the eye.
Do you know who it was? It was I was watching a Hibs Dundee United match, and David Marshall did it. He had Adidas gloves on and Nike boots. I was like, that's a crime.
Yeah, that's like wearing a Nike trackie with an Adidas sole.
Oh,
can't do it.
Nike Dash.
You can't do that.
It's
South of the River, you
it?
cannot do that.
You can't do that. Like I was honestly looking at it, going, "That's no, don't suit me." That it was awkward.
Yeah.
Obviously, you said that you like wearing a short sleeve kit with a base layer underneath and that. Have you got favourite kits that you've had that you like the most, or colours that you like wearing?
I don't like wearing black or like grey.
You don't like blending into the background?
Yeah, hate that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I've played my best in, sort of thing. First year at Swansea, it was a pink. Didn't mind it. I love a green. I think green is just a classic.
The goalie green is proper.
Yeah, it looks the part.
You've got green for Preston, haven't you?
Yeah, lovely proper, green as well. But yeah, I'm trying to think of colours and that. You know, obviously second season at Swans, I got really like close to the kit man, and they were Joma at the time. Joma have come in, and they're talking to the kit man and talking about kits for next year. And I'm like, let me design the goalie kit for next year. Let me, because I'm gonna come back for the third season. I was like, all right, yeah, do it. So I've sat down. I've gone yellow kit. And I've given the Palace red and blue down the side, thinking they're not going to make it, sort of thing. They only made it.
No way.
And I didn't go back. And all I wanted to do was wear this yellow kit.
With Palace stripes?
With the red and blue. Honestly, if you pull it up, red and blue down there.
Have you snuck that in?
And I didn't go back and I didn't wear it. And I was like, got short sleeve as well, because we used to cut the sleeves because they used to make long sleeves.
They're not send you one?
Yeah,
Surely
I got one,
but
but like, I would have loved to have wore that kit.
Yeah.
I think Fisher wore it for Swans. It would have been my third season. It was unreal.
Some
Lovely
clubs' goalie kits are mental. You seen the Bristol City goalkeeper kits? They're mental.
I wouldn't feel nice wearing that. All the patterns in it.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it? It's a bit too far.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. But yeah, that was quite cool, making a kit. I didn't think they was going to do it.
They never consult a goalkeeper from the year before saying, look, this is next year's kit. What do you think? What colours do you want to wear?
Yeah, I always think they should do that. Like even like with the training kit, something that I got from Shag is I'm a cut wet top with a t-shirt over the top.
I do this. I get grief off the lads for doing this.
Do you?
A sleeveless wet top with my t-shirt over the top.
Yeah, I'm that. But I say to them all the time, just make a wet top with short sleeves. It will just save the hassle.
Yeah. It would be unbelievable.
Just ask us. It's just all we need.
I say 3/4 lengths. Shorts, trousers that have been cut just above the
that's
knee.
me as well.
Yeah.
Class.
Can't beat it. Like stuff like that. You're now at Preston then. I want to talk through a bit about your Preston career and that. I've got a lot of people that are fans that I live in the area.
Yeah.
You've had a really good spell there.
Yeah, like obviously, 5 games to go the first season for me. Loving it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, great club. Fans. I knew the club was great and I knew the fans were great because obviously I played there. And as an away player going out, I was like, Preston, deep, that always a tough place to go. Probably going to get bashed up.
Yeah.
So I knew it was class.
It's a hard away ground to go to.
Yeah, it is. Like, you always think that, didn't you? And then obviously going there and then, getting to know the lads. Lads are class. Training ground's really good. And yeah, again, like, it was similar to Swansea where I've like just settled really quickly. And I think once you settle off the pitch, your on-pitch stuff sort of take care. Like, it's just becomes a little bit more easier, And really enjoying my first season there.
Yeah, you've got 2 good kit men as well that I've worked with.
Yeah. They told me to call you Chomp.
Yeah, Chomp.
Yeah, I never knew that until like after the game. Hawkey and Huddy.
Yeah, good guys, aren't they?
Yeah, class. I think kitmen are the heartbeat of a football club.
100%. We've got a guy now, Ewan, and honestly, he runs our dressing room. Like, we love him. He came on our Christmas do. He's like the only staff member you'd ever invite on a Christmas do.
Yeah.
So like, he came doubling with us. Like, he is proper.
That was the first bit of advice I got from my old man. He said, whatever you do, like, befriend the kit man. And this was true, a day release at Palace. It was an old fella. I think his name was like Brian. And so I tried to get like really pally with him. And so I go in one day, I forgot my towel. So I said, Brian, like, couldn't get a towel, could I? I left my towel at home. He went, yeah, no worries. Come with me. Walked into the first team changing room, went in the dirty kit, picked up a dirty towel and went, there you go, mate. And I was like, right, I don't think we're going to get on, like, proper, like, scared the life out of me. Gone home, I'm like, don't think the kit man likes me, Dad. But after that, like, I've made it a point of, like, kit man.
Always look
like,
after him.
One of my best mates is Mike Eames at Swansea.
Yeah.
Like, he's kit man. Like, I say to him all the time, like, I'd love to just be your second kit man.
It's unbelievable,
It's
isn't
a
it?
good job, innit?
It's honestly, because you're still getting the day-to-day banter and that. You're still in about it. Even at the end of your career, you'd still think, I wouldn't mind.
They're involved in all the banter as well.
Everything.
Yeah.
And like, they're privy to so much stuff that the other staff aren't privy to.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Aren't they? Like, they hear every story that
they're
goes
almost
on.
like they are the lads.
They're one of the lads, aren't they? They're
are.
one of the lads that can't play football.
Yeah, it's true.
You've always got one of them. But
even
yeah,
like Hawkey's not bad though, eh?
Yeah, well,
I've heard he's not bad.
Nice.
He tells a story about he's betting. It could have been him or Chilwell. That's what I've heard. He said it's him or Chilwell.
It's absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. Right, I want to go on to your England career. Right, I'm just going to read out some of the accolades already from your youth England career. Right, so you won the 2014 UEFA Under-17 Championship. You saved a penalty in a final of the tournament against Holland. And then in the 2015 season, you played up an age group for the England Under-19s. And then you was a member of the squad for the 2016 Under-19 Championship. And you started in the semi-final against Italy. Your debut for the Under-21s came against Kazakhstan, kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, good.
And then you were selected in the England Under-20 squad for the FIFA World Cup, where you won the Golden Glove Award and the tournament's best goalkeeper, and you saved a penalty in the final against Venezuela for England. And you won 1-0. It's not bad, that.
Yeah, it was. My England days were class.
That's like, unreal, mate. Just reading that, does that, even like hearing it again, is that weird for you?
Oh, it makes me so happy now. Because at the time, you don't really think about it. You're just rolling with it. But I look back at like my England period, it's just like, it was just, I was in a good team as well. Like, my team was really good, but it just like, we just won everything. And like, it was just, I used to think about, like now you think about international break, gonna go away. I used to think, I can't wait for international break, meet up with the lads, play 3 games, win them all. It was just
different
brilliant.
Environment now.
Yeah, it was so good. And like, I played from when I was under 15 all the way up to 21s England. I think I must have played about 65, 70 games all in all for England. It was an amazing time to be involved with an England teams, because it was that sort of era of like, they started then to like take things seriously, to win things. And obviously we won the Euros, then win the World Cup. It was something amazing to be involved in.
Yeah, like the whole England training camp, especially as you're coming through. Obviously, like you would have been at Newcastle, but heading out on loan here and there and that. And then you've got people at Arsenal, for instance, that would have been almost in the first team, playing that same age group of you. Was there a big golfing class, or was it like once you got together, it was like, right, we're a proper team here? Yeah,
it always felt like it was a proper team. I think what helped is that we had such a good team that it didn't really change like squad to squad. You get the odd few injuries and people would come in, but the bulk of the team was pretty much the same.
You can chuck a few names out there. It'll be quite good for us.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to think of the World Cup team. We had Tomori was a centre half, Carl Walker-Peters. We had Josh Onomo's now obviously at Preston with me. We had Dom Calvert-Lewin, Dom Solanke, Ademola Lookman. We had some proper players. Players.
What about Dom's physique, by the way? I played with him at Sheffield. Who came through at Sheffield?
The highest man, like jumping.
His jump tests are through the roof.
Unbelievable. And like, that was the core of the group sort of thing. And we used to have so much fun on the pitch, but then off the pitch, it was just even better. Like, even like we got to my roommate was Dale Fryer from Middlesbrough, and like funniest geezer ever. And we got to under 21s. You get to under 21, you get your own room. But we've been sharing since we was 15.
Did you ask to go back together?
Yeah. So they goes, you got single rooms, and we was like, nah, I don't think it'll feel right. We're gonna have to share rooms. So through the under 21s, we're the only people that shared rooms. And like we go to Kazakhstan. We got beds like super close together. It wouldn't have felt right in my own room. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, looking back on them, it was so good. And then obviously the World Cup winning the glove and that it's quite special.
That's unbelievable as an achievement.
Yeah,
where's the trophy?
It's at my mum and dad's house. Yeah, because it's funny because I think 2 years before the under 20 World Cup was in New Zealand, and if I'm right, I think France won it and Areola won the glove. And I was watching it in my room, and my dad come in. I said, "I'm gonna win that." To my dad, like giving it like big licks, and he's like, "Mate, shouldn't you try and get in a reserve team first?" Because I weren't even in the reserve team for Newcastle, and I was like, "I'm gonna win that." And then obviously when I did, like there's a photo of me like pointing at him saying, I told you I'm gonna win this.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so that's why that one's like so special for me, and like that's why I've made it a point of like putting it on his desk so he can see it every day because I told him that I was gonna win that.
That's nice. That
so it's pretty good.
Obviously, the dream is to get into the full international setup, and that I want to loosely touch on your godparent.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows this, but I think it is quite well known.
No, it is well known.
Yeah. Gareth Southgate is your godparent.
Yeah. He's my godfather.
Yeah. Is it weird or is it like?
It's weird now because obviously he's the England manager.
That's what I mean.
But at the time, it was like he just
normal. Yeah, it's just another one of your dad's mates, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Like it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem until I started, getting in the England team, and then he's become an England manager, and I'm like, God, it's like my dad's situation all over again. Now he's only going to be in England because of his godfather sort of thing. But no, he like every time we used to go away, it was like quite professional. It's strictly professional. And listen, like I think he's a brilliant manager from what I've seen, and he's obviously done well with the England setup and that.
He's got to give you a call up soon, hasn't he?
Thought that, even a couple of tickets would have been great. You know what I mean? Like,
fair enough. Yeah.
To be fair, a couple of tickets for the World Cup would have been nice.
At the moment as well, I want to touch on. You've been linked with a couple of moves and that. I don't know how much you want to talk about it, but do you ever let any of that sort of stuff like affect?
Nah, never.
Do you listen to it?
Nah, I don't. I only got told it the other day. Loosely by the manager. He said something about, I think it was Rangers or something like that. I didn't have a clue. Like I try not to get involved in it because you know what it's like. There's so many things that have to fall in line for that to actually happen. And like I got scarred from the Bournemouth one because I was dead certain I'm going to Bournemouth. So now I just try and focus on like the here and now. Because if you take care of your business now, then that stuff will all come.
Let your goalkeeping do the talking, isn't it?
Yeah, and like, do you know what? I'm happy at the minute. Like I'm happy playing. I'm settled. The first time I'm not on loan somewhere. Missus is happy. Like it just, like I said earlier, happy off the pitch. I'm happy on it. So at the minute, I'm pretty cool where I am.
You're performing well, mate, and you're pushing for the playoffs. So obviously that's the goal for Preston as well.
Yeah, of course. Like it would be amazing to do so. We didn't think it was going to be this season, but we're in with a chance and. That league's mental, really. Anything can happen, and
it's mad, isn't it? Right. This might sound deep, but what's a goalkeepers' union mean to you?
What does a goalkeeping? So I think one word, like togetherness. Really, I think obviously only one of us can go out there and play, but I think the best unions that I've been in is almost like 3 or 4 of you out there, and I've definitely felt that this year we've got Dyer Cornell who's there at Preston as well, and the first person I see when the game's finished, just die. He's on the pitch. He's wishing me the best, and he's saying like, "Well done." And even if I had a bad game, he's still there.
First one, arm around you,
and I
saying,
think
"Don't worry about it." Next game,
100%. I think that's so important, and like, it almost feels like there's two of you in the goal, which is nice. And yeah, I think the togetherness one is important, because I've been in a bad union as well. And it just sucks the energy, and it drains the life out of you. You know what I mean?
You work that closely together that you have to have a good dynamic.
Yeah.
And that's what the thing about us goalkeepers, we're so different. We have to work with each other like we're the best mates, but there's only one person can play.
Yeah, as well. I think it's healthy as well to have that competition, because I think if you know you're dead cert number one and you ain't got that pressure from behind, me speaking, I've never actually perform to the best. When someone's up my arse and pushing me hard, like I feel like I perform better. And yeah, certainly that's happened this year.
Yeah, right. I know we've talked about this off air. I actually want to bring up your social media sort of stuff, and I want you to tell your story. But from the looks of it, you're very active on TikTok and socials and Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, like you've mentioned to me, you have got a team that help you do that.
Yeah.
Have you found that important and also a good release?
Yeah, so I found it so important for two reasons. Is because I think it sort of come about during lockdown. I felt like there was a divide from the team and the fans, and I've always been one for like having a connection with the fans, because obviously I'm a supporter myself, and I've always liked having that connection. So I felt like there was a disconnect, and the only way to bridge the gap when there was no fans was through social media. And I felt like I'd done that well with the Swansea fans, trying to keep them engaged in the games and that. And then that's just carried on now, and I've realised how important it is to sort of engage with the fans, because obviously now social media is the place where they come to see us and to hear our thoughts. But I've also found it a great place to inspire the younger goalies, and I think that's the best thing that I've been able to do like since I started like going heavy on the social media, is that I speak to so many young goalies, and like hopefully I give them advice and inspire them, and almost give them that little bit of guidance. And you never know, it could make a massive difference.
Well, that's exactly why I'm using this podcast as an example of that, like using my voice and other people's voices to tell their stories and help someone. It's well worth doing. So it's full credit like that you put yourself out there and do that on social media.
Yeah, I think whatever you do, you're gonna get criticism, whatever you do. And like I try and be as natural as I can. Like if we get beat, like I don't really want to post, and like I feel like it's the last thing I want to do, but I feel like the fans need to hear
a little insight,
something.
A little tiny
even
insight,
even if I've had a beast, like I'll come out and say, look, I've had a beast.
Yeah.
Like
hands up.
Yeah, I'll work hard during the week, and that's it really. But in terms of inspiring that younger goalie, is that I've found that there's a lot of like rubbish out there in terms of goalkeeping, like people doing cartwheels and then doing a save and that, and it's like, come on, like, do you know what I mean? Just keep the ball out. And I think every goalie's had that, like we said, that tough time, and I think younger kids now, they can sort of like get scared by that. And even like I had it recently where I've messaged someone to say like, look, keep going. Like you're gonna have many times where you drop the ball in the net.
Yep.
Trust me, it happens to me on the biggest stage. Just keep going. Trust me, it will go well. And that was a really nice moment.
No, that's a great message to finish on that, mate. I really appreciate you coming on. What an episode it's been. Freddie, you've been fucking ledge, mate.
Class, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, mate. Right, this has been the Yours, Mine, Away podcast with me, Mark Howard. Please subscribe and give us a 5-star rating if you've enjoyed this pod. See you next week, guys. Thanks a lot. Freddie, unbelievable, mate.
Cheers.
What a save from Mark Howard.